Mr. Chairman, reintroducing Craig Caulfield.
Craig?
Thank you, Chairman. In your Chairman's message to shareholders, you identified multiple weaknesses in operations and risk culture, resulting in 2 court-enforceable undertakings. Of course, you mean the APRA-imposed $50 million capital reserve penalty, which is likely to be preventing you from having loans of perhaps up to $1 billion, depending on the fractional calculation, for serious and long-standing issues, and your serious AUSTRAC anti-money laundering breaches. Whilst you agree both these court-enforceable undertakings by APRA and AUSTRAC have eroded trust in BOQ, you've not identified who the accountable person or persons are. You speak of transparency. Who is the bare accountable executive for each of these serious failures and erosions of shareholder value, 1? And 2, has APRA approved your remediation action plan?
So I'll hit the... Thank you. Yes, we have a remedial action plan approved with APRA and we have one approved with AUSTRAC. So they have now been both agreed and we're off and running. In terms of accountability, as I said during my speech, we have refreshed the management team. There are people who are no longer with this organisation, and I did mention that financial incentives in a lot of those cases were reduced to 0. Accountability was also taken by the current management team and by the current board, notwithstanding that we've also refreshed the board as well. So I think you can draw a line between that and accountability for the enforceable undertakings. So I think whilst there is no one person to single out here, there are a number of people, and I think the consequence management that we have applied as a board has run deep within the organisation. So I think we have appropriately dealt to the matter in terms of taking accountability and taking action through either continued employment or not, and remuneration.
I think you've taken action, and I think you're talking of group-wide accountability. The reason that APRA has BEAR, Bank Executive Accountability Regime, is to make an executive accountable because we are sick of hearing it's a group-wide issue and the group takes responsibility. So APRA, John Lonsdale, the chairman, wants an individual person to be accountable. Now, I hear that you're saying certain people have left the organisation or been fired. If that's it, who were they if it was to do with this? I would like to hear who's accountable. Not the group, but the people.
I'm not saying that it's group-wide. I'm saying that there are a number of senior managers who are senior executives who are no longer with the organisation. But let me give you an example where BEAR does not specifically call out one person: risk culture. So risk culture is an organisation-wide phenomenon, from the top to the very bottom, to the person who is dealing directly with the customer. So risk culture was something that was called out in the enforceable undertaking with APRA. And so we have to have an organisation-wide project designed over years to improve risk culture, to embed modern risk culture within our organisation. So it's not possible to call one person out on an issue like risk culture. That's just one example, and there are a number of examples like that.
Okay, accepted. And I think a good move by yourself and Patrick Allaway was saying removing the STVR and the LTVR as a consequence management tool. Yep. So something like that is, we see it clearly, that's a good point. So looking to the future, we, shareholders, customers, are looking for individual accountable people. And I gather that you'll be trying to make it more accountable for everything coming up.
I'll give you another example of the APRA enforceable undertaking. There are a number of work streams, 13 work streams within the program that we call RQ. Each of those work streams has an accountable person and a project manager accountable for that work stream with timelines and deliverables at certain points. So accountability within the remedial action plan is very clear. And we'll be looking at that to make sure that we are achieving milestones. We're acutely focused on that. And so accountability in the action plan is clear, and it goes across a whole range of people.
Thank you.
Thank you.